This episode of Out of Spec Reviews is brought to you by Magna. More on that later. Jordan.
Yep.
How's it going, sir?
Good. How are you doing?
Well, you're kind of blocking me with your electric F-150.
Yeah, I know. It's a little better.
So that's what we wanted to talk about today. Welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. Welcome to beautiful northern Colorado. Toasty out.
Yeah.
And welcome to two 1500 trucks. We have the Ford F-150 Lightning, the full battery electric.
Platinum, baby. This is top of the line.
Top of the line truck. And this is the GMC Sierra, the new one with the new interiors, really nice 6.2 liter combustion V8, and it screams and it sounds awesome. This is not a comparison of that truck versus this truck. Maybe we'll do something down the line. What we really wanted to do was talk about the topic of electric trucks and combustion trucks, because when we do these comparison tests, everyone's like, oh, electric sucks, or oh, combustion sucks. And I think we kind of say they both have positives and negatives.
Totally.
So let's have that conversation.
All right, so first up, this is the F-150 Lightning. F-150 is the keyword here because they didn't really change much. Has the blocked out grille, which kind of gives it away. This light bar, although feels a little cheap, looks a little cheap in my opinion, but it is cool, differentiates it. There's also a light bar on the back that stretches the whole way, unless you get the base model. Those don't have the light bars. The blocked out grille does make it the most efficient F-150, technically speaking, as far as airfoil and stuff. But charging port on this side, which lets you DC fast charge it up to 150 kilowatts. That leads all into the 131 kilowatt hour battery pack.
Except it doesn't.
What?
This will do 170 kilowatts. Ford just won't tell you.
They won't?
Yeah.
Wow. What do you know
They're
about that?
underrating it, but it actually does more than what they say on the tin.
Well, that's good because 150 is not very good. 170 is not even that great, honestly.
No, that's
it's
true.
a big battery pack. It'll take you a while to charge this thing. There's also another door on the other side that's fake, which is kind of funny. Unlike the Taycan, which can charge from both sides. They just didn't do that here.
Jordan, what's going on with your bum wheel over here?
Yep, so that's interesting, isn't it? You guys took this off-road.
Yep.
And something happened with
Zach sent it through a mud puddle.
Yeah.
And then it came out with a flat tire on the other end.
Which is okay because most people shouldn't be off-roading with 22s. And this wasn't a hardcore trail. Anything can happen. That could have happened on the street, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, that explains the weird wheel right there.
Yeah, but at least it comes with a full-size spare. So there's your electric truck. 2 electric motors. You have to deal with charging. You got a big-ass battery pack. And I want to talk about a whole bunch of stuff in regards to electric. And then this is the 2022 GMC Sierra AT4X. It is like the off-roady, similar to Silverado ZR2. Finally, GM is catching up to like people like off-road adventure trucks, like a Raptor. It's not as hardcore as a Raptor, but like, man, 10 years too late for this trim, don't you think?
Yeah.
What are they doing? Anyway, it's got the absolutely stellar 6.2 liter V8. Great many-speed transmission. I think we're up to 10 gears now. It's got rock sliders, and this is not a comparison of these two trucks like I mentioned, but they're both 1500 series, full-size pickup trucks that I think represent a huge portion of the market. You know, you can see a regular F-150 there, another F-150, another F-150, a Nissan Titan. There's a Dodge over there. Trucks are part of our culture.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of debate going on between electric trucks because that's the new rage, right? There's Cybertruck, there's the Rivian R1T just over there out of frame. There's the Sierra EV, the Silverado EV coming.
Hummer EV, if you can call that a truck.
Hummer EV is more of a lifestyle truck, but yes. And there's so many different viewpoints, and I thought we should bring up a large portion of them all because even though you guys may think of me as Mr. Electric, I mean, we just drove this around all day.
You sat in this, romped on it, and said, oh, that V8's proper.
Yeah. So I think there are benefits to combustion, which I'd like to start with over electric, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but towing is the biggest thing that comes to mind.
Yes.
And we've towed with electric trucks many times, and we're about to tow some more with that F-150 as well, the Lightning. And it sucks. There's no way around it. Towing with an EV is brutal. You not only, let's just say you put a relatively small light trailer on the back, that halves your range.
Yep.
Just as a rule of thumb. Then you put a heavy and unaerodynamic trailer on the back of your F-150, and then not only is your range halved, it might be halved by 60 or 70%, worst case. And we have found and proven that weight does not affect your range as much as the aero component of towing.
Yep.
And we did that test with the R1T, and we knew that, but we proved it. And so, you know, a heavy trailer doesn't matter, an unaerodynamic trailer does. So there's your range issue right there. Yep. Then it's like, okay, how do you charge the damn thing out on a road trip, right? Charging stations are not designed for trailers, at least some of them. This episode is proudly brought to you by Magna. Magna is a mobility technology company that is super unique because they touch every aspect of almost every car in the market, especially a lot of electric vehicles, and they even can produce vehicles from the ground up. Now, you may remember I shot a series just recently testing some of their new electric vehicle powertrains, so stay tuned for a lot of Magna content to come. We're going to be going in depth with some really interesting topics with these guys, and Out of Spec wants to thank Magna for sponsoring this review and tons of other videos to come right here on Out of Spec. We look forward to working with Magna to define and find out what the future of mobility looks like. And certainly not where you're probably going to be going on vacation, which is usually here to the Rocky Mountains or something.
You'd have to either unhook your trailer and then charge the truck and then hook it back up, or try to pull in somewhere and take 20 parking spots like we had to do once.
Right, we've had to do that. And the whole unhook and rehook thing is not great. Not only do you have to charge more often with a trailer, you need to charge deeper into the battery pack. And with trucks, especially like the Lightning and the Rivian to an extent, but really the Lightning, it has a terrible top charging curve.
Yeah.
And to our combustion audience who may not know that, is all batteries slow down as they start to fill up. The way Ford has programmed the Lightning is at 80% it halves, at 90% it pretty much trickles in.
Yep.
And so 90 to 100% is a full hour on that truck. And with the big trailer, there are sections where you're going to need a 100% charge. So towing an electric really seems like the elephant in the room that's like, hey, this is just really, maybe for us, because we're nerds, we like to hang out at charging stations and do fun things, right?
Yeah.
But what's your opinion on that?
It's an uphill battle for most everyone. And sure, if you're towing around town, which some people do, it's not a big deal. And if you charge at home, if you only need like a small amount of range, it's fine. It's really the people who are towing and road tripping at the same time, that's where it falls apart.
That's where it falls apart, I agree. And my viewpoint is like, you buy a truck to do everything. That is your work vehicle. Why would you need to buy a work vehicle and then have another vehicle or a rental or something to go do what you're supposed to do with the truck? So that's where the combustion comes in. I can load up this 30-gallon tank, fill it up with, you know, in 5 seconds at a pump, let's just say 2 minutes, right? Yeah. Something like that. And then you're going. But then it comes down to cost. Well, isn't electric a lot less expensive on the road?
Maybe not as much as you think. So the reason electrics are usually super cheap is because you can charge at home. If you're charging on public infrastructure, it still is typically almost always cheaper, but not by the amount people think.
Once fuel prices dip back down into that 3 range, it's actually cheaper, we calculated, to tow with a combustion truck than it would be. So not only are you wasting all your time sitting at chargers, unhooking, pissing everyone in a parking lot off, you're also spending more money in some cases to charge at public infrastructure.
Yeah, it's just not good right now.
It's not good. So that's where I think there's still work to be done. You know, this is just a large, broad overview topic conversation for these guys. I think there's still work to be done for plug-in hybrid trucks, potentially a battery electric with maybe a range extender solution, where you can have it be electric most of the time, or at least reduce the inner city pollution and improve driving dynamics with an electric motor in a truck. We've driven many just passenger vehicles with mild hybrid, and plug-in hybrid systems.
I really like them.
Yeah, and they all serve their own purpose. And I think the truck is the best candidate for a plug-in hybrid application for those who need to tow, who want to bring their campers around, which is like a huge percentage of people.
Yeah.
So there we go. I think combustion has its place, but I still think there's room to improve the efficiency of these trucks, to make them faster and to make them more fun and interesting with an electrification component. So that is the one area where electric is worse.
Yeah.
Right? And I think we just get that right out the bat. You got to be, you know, as much of an EV enthusiast group that we are.
So now where is your screaming V8 worse?
So where's my screaming V8 worse? Well, unladen for sure, it's significantly slower than that truck.
Yeah.
Even though this thing rips, it's like I got out of that and into this.
It has to rev up and then you're feeling like the sound and the power, but at low down, you're just like, step on it, wait for it to shift down 20 gears, and then
It's got a lot of gears. It's the same with like the EcoBoosts and the Fords, right? You got to wait for them to build boost, and you got 10 speeds, and it's like, whoa. That is just, you nail it, and it's
gone.
just roasts the tires. So from an acceleration standpoint, great, but like who cares about acceleration in a truck?
Yeah.
Right? What we don't truly know though is like a full payload test on an electric truck. At least yet.
Yeah.
We don't know when these videos will go up, but we're going to do a max payload test in that F-150.
And it's nice, it tells you the payload, and that's cool.
Yeah, with scales in
Onboard
it. That's
scales,
pretty cool.
yeah.
Okay, so I would say combustion is pretty much worse in almost every regard, other than noise, because this V8 sounds great. We got some activity. Oh no. The ambulance. Oh, thanks for turning your sirens off.
Yeah, he saw we were filming.
Yeah, wide open in the diesel. The two areas this excels in is noise, because you can't deny the great sound of a V8, and towing. Everything else though, everything else,
Yeah.
I think, come on over this way, camera and viewers, everything else is better here with electric. First of all, not having a massive combustion engine, right, means, guess what?
Mega
I can
power front.
actually put stuff in a front trunk. And it's not just unique to Ford. The Rivian has a front trunk, the Hummer EV has a front trunk, the Silverado EV has a front trunk. And so this lockable storage is just wonderful to have.
Yeah, 400 liters, 400 pounds. You can put a lot in here.
At least in this particular one.
Yeah.
Each one will be a little bit different, yeah. But that is a massive benefit for driving around. Secondly, cold climates, hot climates. EVs work great. People don't think they do. But you get into frigid temperatures, you can have this thing warmed up, ready to go. You don't need, you know, anything special, and you can just nail it out of the garage or nail it out of the parking lot. No engine warm up.
Yeah, sure, those have remote start, but then your neighbors are like, why is this V8 firing up in the morning at 5 a.m. for 30 minutes to warm it up or cool it down?
Yeah, and I mean, with modern technology, maybe it's not as big of a deal, but I'm a little bit mechanically sympathetic, and I like to let stuff come up to temperature just a little bit before I start driving it. And then you got to drive it gently, and you got this, you just get in and mat the throttle. Okay, so lockable storage is great. The ease of driving around town too, just having that instant control over the drivetrain, not having to manage a transmission and just ripping around is fun. And we've actually put quite a few truck people in electric trucks now, and they've just all been blown away. I think there is this general consensus that truck people don't like electric cars.
They get into it expecting to dislike it or expecting to be disappointed. I saw the same thing with the Harley Livewire electric bike. You know, all these Harley guys are like, oh, this is so dumb. And they get on it and they're like, oh, where do I buy one?
Right.
Same thing with the Lightning and the Rivian and all those, is people go into it being judgmental and then they experience one. That's really how you know.
That makes sense. And I would also say, like, even the diesel guys, right? They drive a diesel for torque. Well, you can't torque instantly all the time. This thing's great. So other benefits of electric, well, you have, what are other benefits? You can power your house, you can power other vehicles. It's basically a giant generator.
We did a huge Pro Power onboard test. Definitely check out that video where we charged 5 other cars off of this truck, which was kind of cool.
It's just more useful.
Yeah.
So I think to keep this video somewhat short, we love electric trucks.
Yep.
I still think, for me personally, like even as the biggest EV nerd ever, I don't think I could live without a combustion vehicle in my life. Just for the road trips we do, we just went up to Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. Not easy in an electric vehicle.
It wasn't even that easy in a combustion.
It wasn't even that easy in a combustion vehicle. Towing, we tow cars around, we tow stuff around all the time, and it's not like we're towing it down the street and back. I'm going like from here to Salt Lake, for wherever, and that's, again, just the range when towing is one component. But then the fact that you have to charge so deep at a charging station is really the killer for me.
Yeah, I think at the moment it's great to have both in the garage, even if one's a plug-in hybrid.
Yeah, I agree. So you know, what I'm saying is there are enough use cases where they will sell as many electric trucks as they could ever possibly build. Fleets, daily drivers, people who are not going to be doing long distances. And you can do long distances in this truck unladen. No trailer, no payload, no issue. Or even at max payload, I bet it's no issue. As soon as you put a trailer on, your road tripping just goes down. And so I think there's still a place for combustion vehicles for a long time, long time. And I still think that it's very important that we try and help push the industry to making combustion trucks maybe potentially faster, better to drive, and less polluting would be sort of the goal there. And it's nice that you can buy I own an electric truck, there's mine right there, right? But I also have a diesel. So, so two vehicle solution.
Yeah, I feel like hybrid's the no-brainer for the future just because it is better efficiency and better for everything, but you still have the benefit of stop in, you know, put some gas in it and run.
Yeah, so if we're looking for the one truck solution, I think it's a range extended battery electric, like an i3 solution, or it's a combustion vehicle that has a pretty good plug-in range for driving around town.
Yeah.
So there you have it. We're not ready for a totally electric today.
Yeah.
But I think we are getting ready for a more electrified future with more technologies to pair with combustion.
Bring it on.
Thanks for watching. There are our thoughts between combustion and electric trucks, just as a little bit of a thought experiment.
Yep.
I'm gonna drive the Lightning because I prefer it.
Dang.